What's going on, you guys? The Demigod back on Demigod ENT. Today I'm bringing you another movie review. So today we're about to be doing a movie review for M. Night Shyamalan's newest film in theaters right now, that being his brand new film Old. Now I must say I had a great time at the cinemas watching this film, and I've been waiting to get this movie review up for you guys. So if you don't already know how we do movie reviews over here on Demigod ENT, we're gonna go over the director, then we're gonna go over the plot, the cast, I'm gonna go over my negatives of the film, and then I'm gonna give you my official film rating out of 10 on Demigod ENT, and then I'm gonna let you know if you should spend your hard-earned money, go out there and watch this film at the cinemas. So all that being said, let's get into this movie review, man. Let's go. Now this movie was directed by M. Night Shyamalan, which is primarily the reason why I wanted to go out and check out this film. I love a majority of M. Night Shyamalan's movies. I'm a huge fan. I love what he brings to film, and he always throws, you know, a twist ending in there that leaves you for a loop, which is why I wanted to go see this film, so I can know, you know, what the twist ending is gonna be here in this film here. So the last time we got an M. Night Shyamalan film in theaters was, of course, I believe it was 2019's Glass. Now I was actually very disappointed with Glass. I really didn't like the conclusion to that film. I didn't like the entire third act of that film, and I thought he really almost threw his superhero franchise down the trash with the making of that movie. I think he was setting up a beautiful trilogy, if not a cinematic universe, an M. Night Shyamalan superhero type-esque cinematic universe that he was creating, and yeah, man, I feel like he just completely ruined that. So he had to redeem himself with his next film, and I feel he managed to do that with this. So the plot for this movie is a family on a tropical holiday who discover the secluded beach where they are relaxing for a few hours is somehow causing them to age rapidly, reducing their entire lives into a single day. Now, when I seen the concept for this movie in the trailer, with of course their life rapidly aging within 24 hours, I thought it was just completely insane. I knew I had to go see this just to see how he was going to tackle this concept, how he was going to execute this concept, and I feel like he did a pretty solid job with that. So with that being said, this is a non-spoiler review, so I'm not going to get into the plot too much here. However, I would just like to say that, of course, our main family here, they arrive at their vacation, and pretty much the hotel lets them know that, you know, a beach exists, a remote beach that's near the area. The family takes the recommendation, goes on down to this beach along with a couple other strangers who happen to be vacationing there, and before they know it, they are all rapidly aging, and things are just going, you know, way off the wall here, and we start to wonder, why is this happening, how is this happening, and how they plan on resolving this issue. Now, the main thing I liked about this film is that our characters inside of here are not dumb. So all the people in our group here, our main family here, none of these characters are stupid. They don't follow, you know, movie tropes of dumb characters, and they actually make some logical sense in here. You know, they start getting together, they start piecing things together, they start collaborating and talking to each other, sparking a conversation, trying to work together to get themselves out of this terrible situation that they are in. And I really liked that about this film. Smart characters, good written characters, you know. And also another thing I liked about this film is M. Night Shyamalan always adds himself into his own movies. I think that is just genius, man. Honestly, if I ever become a filmmaker, which definitely is not out of the question for me one day, I definitely am going to take the M. Night Shyamalan approach where I gotta add myself as a side character in my own movies. That's always a treat to get to notice the director in there, especially if you're in the film world, you know, the world of film, and you know the director. So when you see his films, you could spot that, you know, you're witnessing the director on screen, and everyone else in the theater has no clue that they're even seeing the guy who made the movie up on screen in front of them. I think that's a pretty cool thing right there, and I wouldn't even mind more directors starting to do that. And of course other directors have done that before. It's not like Shyamalan's the only one to have ever done this. However, he always makes it a case to do it in every single one of his films, and I really like that. Anyway, stepping off of that, the plot for this movie I feel was pretty solid, and enough of talking about the plot. I'll talk about my negatives a little later in the video. Let's go ahead and get into discussing the cast. So honestly, man, the cast inside of this movie was extremely solid. I didn't have a problem with any of the acting inside of this movie. I thought they all did a fantastic job. Even the child actors inside of here did a pretty good job, which is pretty rare for film. And yeah, man, I like the roles that everyone was casting. I feel like all the actors played their part to the best of their capabilities, you know, with what the script was giving them, which, by the way, I feel like this was a pretty solid script here overall in terms of the writing. And so I guess the main characters of our film here would pretty much be Trent and Maddox, which are the children inside of this movie from the beginning of the movie. Of course, we're going to see them grow and evolve and eventually turn into adults, as we've seen in the trailer, which isn't a spoiler considering, you know, it's the entire plot of the movie. And so,
hey, have you seen my children?
Mom, I'm right here.
with that being said, I feel like Trent and Maddox, from the child actors, from them going to the adult actors, I felt like they did a pretty solid job here as our main leads. You know, I didn't have anything wrong with either of these actors here, either of these characters. Of course, Trent played by Alex Wolff and Maddox's character played by Thomasin McKenzie. Now, stepping off of their characters and talking about the other characters here, of course, their parents did a pretty solid job inside of here. I really liked the dynamic there. You know, that you could tell there was some tension inside the relationship, something that needed to be resolved that wasn't being spoken on until we later find out later in the film what that is. And all of the characters inside of this film happen to be dealing with something. Now, I'm not going to say what that is, what they happen to be dealing with, but if you've seen the film, you know what I'm talking about here. And so all of the side characters playing into their roles of what they're supposed to be dealing with, you know, making it realistic here. And just our group in general, I feel like they all did a pretty good job here inside of this film, man. I definitely like what this cast brought to this movie, and man, there is a very off the walls character inside of this film, and I really couldn't understand why he was acting so, you know, really out there until of course the end of the movie reveals why it is. Again, this end of the movie, it really resolves everything for you in a way that makes sense, in that you could understand how something like this could possibly be happening in a real life situation, you know. And so overall, cast did a solid job, man. Let's move into my negatives about this film. So, starting with my negatives of this film is the third act, man. I feel like the first and the second act of this film did a fantastic job. I was hooked the entire way through. I mean, I was paying attention, I was locked in on the screen, and everything was going so far so good. I was really impressed. And then as soon as we get to the third act, you know, everything kind of slows down here. The narrative of the film slows down, of course, with some action scenes placed throughout the third act here and there. And man, I just really did not like that. As soon as the third act started, I started wondering, you know, how long is this film? Which, by the way, it's under 2 hours. It's not that long at all. During a film that's under 2 hours, I should never, during the duration of your film, be feeling like, you know, when is this gonna end? I've been sitting in here for a while, you know, and that's a huge problem for me. So I wish in the third act he could have kept up that momentum, kept everything moving and flowing as it was throughout the first and second act just so perfectly. And yeah, man, so that is my main negative of this film, is the third act. However, going more into that towards the end of the third act, like last 20 minutes of the film, last 25 minutes, things did start picking back up again, and I did enjoy the conclusion of this film at the end of the third act. So I will say that, you know, the film started off great, first, second act, and then it finished very strong. However, in the third act there, we begin to drag, we begin to slow down a little, and things needed to be sped up a little. Things definitely could have been cut out of here. We did not need this film to be as long as it was. Even I feel like it could have been cut down 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and it would have been fine. It would have flowed even better together. And that is pretty much my main problem with this film. Other than that, man, the acting was solid, the directing from M. Night Shyamalan was solid, the cast, everything in here was solid, man. I liked pretty much everything in this film except for that problem right there. So that leads us in to, of course, our main rating for this film. What is our rating going to be here on Demigod ENT? How am I going to rate Old 2021 from M. Night Shyamalan? Well, first things first, I must say I had a great time watching this film, and after the movie, the rating I gave it was a little bit higher than I'm going to give to you guys, because of course I was caught up in the moment and the cinematic experience. Now that I've had, you know, a day to think over everything and really talk through all of the plot and everything about this film, I'm going to give M. Night Shyamalan's Old an 8 out of 10. There it is up on screen, man, 8 out of 10. And man, I must say I had a great time at the cinemas watching this film. I had a great time seeing this on the big screen. I liked my journey almost completely from beginning to end, with of course a little problems there in the third act. However, would I recommend you go out and check out M. Night Shyamalan's Old? I would definitely recommend this film for you. Definitely go check this out. It's a great time at the movie theater. You're gonna have a good time watching this. This movie is a trip, man. All that being said, that's it for my review. So did you enjoy my review? Let me know down in the comment section down below. What did you think about M. Night Shyamalan's Old? Did it impress you? Did you like the film? Did you hate the film? Let me know down in the comment section down below. Those are my thoughts on this film, man. If you don't know what I do here on Demigod ENT, I do trailer reactions, show reactions, movie reviews, movie news, and unboxing videos. So if you're interested in any of that, you're in the right place, man. Hit subscribe, hit the like button, show this video some love. I drop multiple videos a day on this channel, so that's what you can expect out of me. And if you don't already know, I am the Demigod, the chosen one, here on Demigod ENT, and I'm out of this thing, man. I appreciate y'all for watching with me. More videos coming soon. Stay tuned. Peace.